America, we are back, baby. Welcome to another episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides. We got a great show for you tonight, everyone. Please remember to like and smash the follow button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the show. We had a lot of different topics to talk about. We had a big weekend happen. We had the Charlie Kirk Memorial, but it really seemed like a GOP event more than anything. We'll talk about that today. We'll talk about the memorial service. We'll talk about the person who tried to break into the memorial service. We'll also talk about something that happened within the U.S. today. We'll talk about a repeat offender, a black individual who killed somebody. This just happened. A mother was tragically killed by this individual while driving after he's already had multiple offenses. So we'll talk about that today. We'll talk about the offenses that this person has faced prior. We'll talk about Israel as well. That's nothing new on this show. We speak about Israel a lot. We'll talk about how they killed 4 Americans and how the media is just not reporting it. Normally, when a country kills 4 Americans, we go to war with them. But for some reason, when Israel does it, we send them another $6.5 billion. Because that's what happened last week. We sent Israel another $6.5 billion on top of the $3.8 billion we already sent them and the $300 billion we've sent them total. We're very complicit in this genocide. It's very sad. And it's very sad that they're now killing Americans and our government is doing literally nothing about it. So when Donald Trump says America first, when Donald Trump says that he is going to put Americans first in every way, it's really hard to believe, especially when the evidence shows that it is the direct opposite, actually. We'll talk about Israel's influence over America as well. We'll talk about the change with the H-1B visas. We briefly touched over this in our last episode when we were checking the headlines. It was one of the headlines that had popped up. We'll show a video of Michael Rappaport talking to his APEC handler. And we will also show a video of the Minneapolis mayor speaking Somalian to Americans. Again, America is losing itself right now. We have states and cities turning into third world states and cities, third world nations, essentially. And it's happening because we're importing the entire third world. When you import all these Somalian, Haitian, when you import all these immigrants who do not assimilate into American culture, don't mix with American culture well, they don't hold the same values as America, and they don't want to uphold our Constitution, you're going to lose your country. And especially when you have mayors catering to them, you're really going to lose your nation. Why is an American mayor speaking Somalian to his constituents? Your constituents should all know English. If you immigrate to America, I expect you to learn English immediately. And anyone who doesn't, shame on you, honestly. You are disrespectful to everyone in this nation. You're abusing our systems, and you still won't learn our language? You came into our nation and didn't learn our language? You don't find that at all disrespectful? I do. I find it very disrespectful. So we'll talk about that today. We'll talk about all these different topics. We'll check if there's any headlines. We will show a few different videos. I'll show a video of Tucker Carlson speaking at the GOP event. I'll show let's see, I got a few different videos. I'm not going to spoil them all now, actually. I was thinking about it, but we're going to dive right into the show. Again, please remember to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. I do want to get right into the first topic. The first topic is this Charlie Kirk memorial. Obviously, I think it's very beautiful. They held a large memorial for a lot of people to attend. I think it's important to give Americans that opportunity. And Americans really took up that opportunity. Over 90,000 of you showed up. That's amazing. Over 90,000 Americans showed up to this event. Charlie Kirk is smiling down from heaven. Charlie Kirk loved Americans, and we love Charlie Kirk. We all are Charlie Kirk now. It is our responsibility and our role to be Charlie Kirk, to have debates, to have dialogue, to shed light on some of the misinformation that a lot of liberals like to push around. And it's not even just the liberals. There's also some conservatives, GOP representatives who definitely do the exact same thing. What I did not like about the event was the fact that it very quickly turned into a GOP event. It wasn't Charlie Kirk's memorial. It was, how many voters can we get for the next election? And that made me really sad. I don't think that's exactly what Charlie Kirk would have wanted. Maybe it is. I mean, Charlie Kirk was very political, very passionate about Turning Point USA, so maybe that was part of the goal. But realistically, it seemed off. It did not seem authentic, and that's really sad. Erica Kirk gave a very beautiful, touching speech. She talked about her late husband. She talked about all these things. She talked about the tragedy that unfolded, and she even said that she has spoken to, or she has prayed about this, and that she was able to forgive Tyler Robinson. None of us will ever be able to understand, unless you've gone through something similar, which I doubt most people have. I mean, very few people. But none of us will ever be able to understand what it's like to lose your husband or your spouse in such a tragic, brutal, right in front of your eyes way, where, millions of people are seeing it instantly. There's conspiracies floating around, all this misinformation, all this chaos. None of us will be able to understand what was going through Erica Kirk and her children's mind during all this. Obviously, an extremely tragic, traumatic event that will impact the rest of her life forever. But to have that and be able to give this beautiful speech and then have everyone else after you get up and almost dishonor Charlie. Like, Donald Trump got up to the microphone and he said, Erica's able to forgive Tyler, but I'm not able to forgive my previous political opponents. Okay, like, this isn't the time for fucking jokes, Trump. And if that's not a joke, that was an extremely stupid fucking comment. It's very dumb to be at a memorial service for somebody and to turn it into, like, political satire. I don't know what Trump's aim was with that. I mean, Erica Kirk, like I said, gave this beautiful, touching speech where she literally forgave the person who murdered her husband in cold blood in front of their children. One thing that, again, so many of us would struggle with accomplishing. I mean, me personally, I would be so enraged. I would be so upset. Erica Kirk is stronger than a lot of us. And a lot of people are failing to acknowledge that because you have people, again, like Trump, who get up there and they make it about themselves. It's like, oh, she's able to do that, but why would I forgive any of these people? They tried to put me in jail. Again, shut the fuck up, Trump. Stop making it about yourself. This is not about you. It was never about you. This right now is about Charlie Kirk. This is about freedom of speech, and this is about America. And this is about Erica Kirk and their children. It is not about you. It's not about your fucking ego. It's not about you forgiving your political opponents for the way they've treated you in the past. It's so fucking disrespectful the way he treated the entire thing, and it really upset me. And the way Tucker Carlson acted really upset me as well. Tucker Carlson used the event as a way to throw conspiracies out there. And again, if you want to do that on your own show, that's your prerogative, and I have no problem with that. If you on the Tucker Carlson Network or Tucker Carlson Show, whatever the fuck you call it, if you want to talk about Israel doing it, Jews doing it, if you want to talk about who Tyler was connected to, that is your prerogative. That is your role. That is whatever you want to call it. But for you to do that at this man's memorial service, in front of his widowed wife, in front of all these people, like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you thinking? Are you thinking at all? Do you have any common sense? Do you have any empathy? Again, Charlie Kirk, yes, he was a political commentator. He was an aggressive moderate, some might say. I don't think he was far right at all, but he was a moderate. And he definitely had, a couple takes that not everyone would agree with, but to use his memorial as a platform to push your theories about his killer is absolutely atrocious. It is absolutely disgusting. It is, I'm at a loss for words over it. I thought about a bunch of different ways to say this. I thought about a bunch of different ways to talk about this. As I'm saying it, as I'm talking about it, I'm really just at a loss for words. I'm so upset again thinking about it. I get so upset thinking that people just refuse to honor a man. It's not hard to honor a man's legacy. It's very easy to put your ego to the side for a day, to put your bullshit to the side for a day, and to just honor a man. If you want to throw these conspiracies around, if you want to throw your theories around, again, do it on your own fucking time. It really upset me. I'm going to show the video of that later in the show today when I show all the videos. But yeah, it just rubbed me the wrong way. It really did. Another crazy thing that happened at this event was the day before it happened. This event happened in Glendale, Arizona at the Cardinal Stadium. And before it happened, there obviously was a heavy Secret Service presence, a heavy FBI presence, law enforcement, etc. A lot of the reason is because Donald Trump, JD Vance, all those guys are there. And then at the same time, it's because we're at the memorial service for a man who was assassinated. So obviously they're going to go over, they're going to go over the top on all the extra law enforcement detail, all those things. A person dressed up as law enforcement, fully armed with multiple weapons, was attempting to shoot up the event, cause violence at the event, and they were arrested the day before. I want to give props to all the law enforcement officers who were able to seek this individual out, arrest them, and get them off the premises immediately the day before. Because that could have been another tragedy, another very disgusting, sad tragedy. We have this rise in political violence right now. The left is promoting, and it's not like all the people on the left side, but there is a massive part of leftists and anarchists who are promoting violence. They are saying, pick up your weapons. They are saying that these Republicans should not feel safe at their political events because of their positions. Destiny said that sick fucking pedophile Destiny. Destiny is a disgusting sick pedophile. It's so gross. I definitely bounced around a little bit there in that segment, and I'll try and touch on any little details I missed because, again, I get really flustered talking about this. I get upset when I talk about how, again, Charlie meant a lot to me. So I get really upset when I talk about how these people were, again, being so misbehaved, I guess is a good way to put it. So misbehaved at his memorial service. They literally showed no empathy. They acted like they didn't fucking care. They all treated it like, how many people can I get to tune into my show in my next episode? How many votes can I get in the next election? It seemed like the entire thing was like setting JD Vance up for 2028 or setting like Marco Rubio up for a promotion. It did not seem like they were honoring Charlie outside of Erica's speech, and that part of it really killed me, and that part of it really flustered me. But yeah, the entire thing just seemed like a massive donor drive GOP event. Did not seem like a memorial service in any way. It didn't seem like a touching tribute to Charlie Kirk. You literally have these people walking out on stage to what's it called, like pyrotechnics or whatever the fuck, like literally like fireworks and fire shooting out of the fucking stage, and they're walking out like fucking, to rounds of applause. It's like, okay, go fuck yourself. Put your ego to the side for a fucking day. A man is dead. His wife is widowed. His kids will grow up without a father. I remembered what I was saying earlier where I lost my train of thought. I was saying earlier that like Charlie was like a moderate. But it's like, again, to Charlie's family, he wasn't Charlie the political commentator. He was Charlie the father. He was Charlie the husband, like his kids didn't look at him as like this aggressive, moderate political commentator who goes to colleges and debates. They just looked at him as dad. And that's one of the saddest things is like Trump, all these people, they pretty much just shit on Charlie's existence with that, whatever, that tribute to him. It was fucking disgusting the way they peddled conspiracies. And even, like, whether they end up being true or not. Like, Tucker Carlson says it was fucking Israel. And whether it was Israel or not, do you really think that's the place? And even if that ends up being true, it's like, again, is that really the place to talk about this? Is that Charlie's memorial service the place to air this shit out? Like, what the fuck is, again, like, what reality do we live in that that's what's happening? That people are, like, trying to air out fucking drama at memorial services. We're not a bunch of little girls. These are men in politics. Act like you. Get your shit together. Like, what the fuck was that? It really pissed me off. It really upset me. It really made me think, like, again, I've already had a lot of negative opinions about a lot of these people, but it really made me think differently about a lot of them. I could really feel my ADHD going all over. Like, I'm literally thinking about 48,000 things right now in my mind. So, again, if I bounce around this episode at all, I apologize for that. It is been a hectic day today, crazy day, and, again, emotional. Like, I've been super emotional about this entire Charlie Kirk thing. If you watched my Charlie Kirk episode and you've watched episodes throughout, you've seen that. You've seen during times like this. I mean, I would argue against Charlie about a lot of specific things, especially the Israel topic, but Charlie was a great man. He was a father. He was a husband. Charlie was a person who pursued free speech and pursued the truth in a lot of ways. Charlie is someone who enlightened and awakened millions of young Americans, millions of young men, and mobilized them. What Charlie accomplished is something, it's no small feat. It's something that very few of us, I mean, I could never, it's something very few of us could ever accomplish, if anybody. I don't think anybody could actually step into the shoes and fill the role that Charlie Kirk filled. Charlie Kirk he was the voice of an entire generation. He was our generation's JFK. And not even in like the crazy conspiracy assassination way. He was a young male leader who spoke to young males all around the country and inspired young men. He was somebody that people looked up to as a role model, they admired, and he was someone who pursued truth. And he pursued American sovereignty in a lot of ways. Again, maybe not from Israel. Charlie didn't pursue that, but he pursued it in a lot of ways. So again, while I might have disagreed with Charlie about a lot of things, I find it incredibly disrespectful and dishonest of these people to use his memorial service as a platform to push their propaganda or push their conspiracies, or again, even if they end up being real, to talk about it in general. They shouldn't have been saying anything besides positive things about Charlie. Trump shouldn't have been talking about himself. J.D. Vance shouldn't have been either. Marco Rubio, same thing. Peter fucking Hegseth, same thing. It's like all these guys took this time to promote themselves, their own organizations, and what they're accomplishing in Trump's government. You could have took this time to honor a man who literally got Trump elected and allowed all of you to be in the White House in the first place, but sadly they chose not to. I want to go on to our next topic. I want to talk about this black repeat offender, Xavier Omar. I want to talk about how he just killed a woman. He killed her in a DUI hit and run. This person has been cited multiple times for multiple violations. They have had not only multiple speeding violations, they have also had multiple DUIs. They have had multiple convictions for open containers, driving the wrong way on the side of the highway, things like that. A lot of speeding violations. Not a lot of like outside violence. They weren't like assaulting people, things like that, or that we know of at least. But this person was a very reckless individual, very reckless on the road, who threatened people's lives time and time again, did not have his license taken away, and then now he just killed somebody. This man had, I think it was like 10 different prior tickets and citations. And again, tickets aren't like the worst thing in the world. I've got a speeding ticket here and there. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying you're automatically a criminal and going to kill someone if you get a speeding ticket. But if it's a repeated thing where you can't stop yourself from driving recklessly, you're driving the wrong way, you're constantly driving under the influence, whether it's marijuana or alcohol, you're a problem and you need to be removed from the roads. This person should have been removed from the roads for a long time, and because of black privilege, they were not. They say white privilege is real, but it's black privilege. I don't know why I can't pronounce that word right now. Black privilege allowed this man to be released time and time again, that his crimes were just, again, not punished. This person should have had his license taken away a long time ago. When we show this person's rap sheet towards the end of the episode, I'm going to just do all the videos, all the pictures, all that stuff at once at the end. You guys will see for yourselves. This person was an individual who should have been removed from the roads a very long time ago. It's very sad that this person was able to kill somebody. I pray for this person's husband. I pray for their child. But this person literally killed a mother in Florida, who didn't deserve to die at all. Not that anyone does. It's very sad. This is the world we're living in right now. People are getting away with these crimes. The Biden administration allowed people, specifically minorities, to commit a ton of crimes within the United States and just be released into society. And even if they weren't arrested, they should have been. This person should have been arrested a long time ago. This person should have just been in jail. It's not even that this person just should have not had a license. This person should have been locked the fuck up. And now they will be, and I hope they throw away the key, because he took a young woman's life. He took it because he's a selfish sack of shit, because he's an animal who can't stop himself from driving recklessly, from driving under the influence constantly. And no, you're not the worst person in the world if you slip up. If you have a DUI when you're young, if you have a couple speeding tickets here and there, whatever. Again, people make mistakes. People can overcome those mistakes and improve. But if you keep making the same mistake over and over, it's not a mistake. This person was arrested for multiple DUIs, and this final DUI just killed someone. We can safely assume that this person drives drunk and high often and just doesn't get caught. Based off the amount of DUIs this person had, we can safely make that assumption. We can safely make the assumption that this person just should have been locked up a very long time ago, and everyone around this person would have been safer. Every single person driving on the road around this person would have been safer if this person was in jail and they threw away the fucking key. But no, our government doesn't want to do things like that. Our government doesn't want to put more black people in jail. They want to just take them out. They want to lower the statistics. Even though they commit higher crime rates, even though they commit more crimes, more violent crimes, more crimes of almost every single category, they don't want to do anything about it. That's what our government's doing. Again, we are all these people. When we see Charlie Kirk, if you're a young man in this country, you are Charlie Kirk. When you see the video of Irina getting her throat slit on the train, your sister is Irina. When I show you this lady at the end, that's your sister, that's your mother, that's your grandmother, that's your aunt. It could have been fucking any of us. It literally could have been any of us. I'm going to pray for this woman's soul. I'm going to pray for her husband and her children. Again, a mother was taken from the world because a selfish animal wanted to drive recklessly and couldn't stop himself. We're going to go on to our next topic. We're going to talk about this strike that happened in Lebanon by Israel. Israel struck Lebanon, and they killed 4 Americans doing it. And none of the big media sites are reporting this. CNN is the only one of the most distrustworthy news sources, but CNN is one of the only ones reporting this. 4 Americans were killed by Israel. 4 Americans were killed by our so-called ally, the people we send billions of dollars a year to, over $10 billion this year alone. 4 Americans were killed by people that we send over $10 billion to, and that if you criticize, you're called anti-Semitic. If any other country killed 4 Americans, I would be calling for your leaders' fucking heads. I want Netanyahu's head, not literally. I want Netanyahu's head metaphorically. I want people in the government to hold Israel fucking accountable. Cut them off financially. Cut them at the fucking knees. Let them know we are not their allies. Let them know that we are going to sanction the shit out of them because of their nukes, and they refuse to sign the nuclear treaty that we're signed in with Russia and China. Why is it that Israel refuses to sign the nuclear treaty that the U.S. is signed into? Why is it that the only other countries who aren't signed into it are North Korea, Pakistan, India, and Israel? 4 very corrupt, disgusting nations who I don't want anything to do with America. I don't want them affiliated with America in any way. I think it's extremely corrupt the way that Israel has abused and used our government, the way that they are literally killing Americans and our politicians aren't saying shit about it. You want to know why? Because the second you speak out against Israel as an American politician, your career is fucking over. Currently, in this day and age, if you say a single negative word about Israel, your career in politics is literally over. And if you're an immigrant in America, you can literally shit on America as much as you want, but you cannot say a single negative word about Israel. Nope, that would be anti-Semitic. That would make you a piece of shit, according to our government. Our government doesn't care about Americans. They care about Israelis. You want to know why? Because our government is owned by Israelis. Literally. Our government is literally owned by Israelis. You want to know how I know our government is owned by Israelis? Because right now, Donald Trump is saying that he is going to put sanctions on the people investigating Bibi Netanyahu for war crimes. We've seen the war crimes. I've showed them on my show. I've showed the war crimes on my show. They are on the internet for everyone to see because all wars are on the internet nowadays. We live in a new day and age where Israel can't just bomb unarmed civilians and get the fuck away with it. They cannot get away with it anymore. You can't get away with things that are on video. But somehow our government is allowing them to. Our government just pretending like these videos don't exist. Our government does not give a shit about the unarmed women and children, the unarmed journalists who get killed in these double tap attacks, where they literally bomb a building, and then when the journalists come to report on it, they bomb the building again, knowing they'll kill the journalists. It's fucking disgusting. But yeah, anyone who wants to investigate Bibi Netanyahu's war crimes will now be sanctioned. Like, are you fucking kidding me? The entire world right now is siding with Palestine. The entire world is recognizing Palestine as a state. Except the United States. We're the only country that's not doing it. Every one of our allies has done it. Everyone in the world pretty much has recognized Palestine as a state except for Israel and America. And they will never do that in Israel or America because in America, we're owned by Israel. And in Israel, they want to annex the entire strip. They want to eliminate everyone who refuses to just leave the country. They want to kick people out of their own nation. And then if you're not going to leave, they're just going to fucking kill you. That's what's happening right now. That's literally what is happening in this war. It is a genocide. Jews hate when you call it a genocide too, because they think the only genocide to ever happen was the Holocaust. There are a lot of other genocides that have happened. There was the Bolshevik Revolution, the Armenian genocide, there's this. There's a lot of genocides that happen, and just because the Jews want to use the Holocaust as a crutch to never be criticized, doesn't mean that we're not going to criticize. I'm going to keep criticizing them. I don't give a shit. Again, you could call me whatever the fuck you want. I am going to criticize bad behavior when I see it. And when I see people bombing unarmed children, unarmed women, when I see people bombing unarmed journalists, guess what? You are no better than the people that you say killed all yours. You are no better than any other group who committed any genocide throughout history. What makes one better than the other? Numbers? The fact that this person killed 300,000 while this killed 100,000 and this person killed millions? Is that what makes a genocide worse, or is it the fact that it even happened? I find them all atrocious and disgustingly, I find them all equal, essentially. You know, if you are a group committing a genocide, you're no better than any other group who has committed a genocide throughout history. And it's extremely crazy to me that Jews in America refuse to acknowledge that. It's crazy to me that they refuse to acknowledge that this is a genocide, that ethnically cleansing a place and killing all their women and kids and killing anyone who refuses to leave. How is that not the definition of what is a fucking genocide if that's not one? Let me ask you that. If you're watching this show and you disagree with what I'm saying, what is a genocide to you if that's not a genocide? And if anyone responds to that, I will respond to your comments in the next episode, but I doubt anyone actually will, because when you ask you this question, they just get mad and call you anti-Semitic. They don't actually debate you on the substance. They don't actually debate you on the topic itself. They just say, you're an anti-Semite piece of shit. And it's like, okay. Is that your entire argument, sweetheart? Is that all you got? Oy vey. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, that's all they have. All they have against you is calling you anti-Semitic at this point. They, like, you can't beat us in facts and logic when you're on the losing side of it. And that's the situation Israel's dealing with now. That's why they have the Hezbollah campaign. The Hezbollah campaign is, they paid $45 million to Google to run YouTube ads to minors and run YouTube ads to kids and run YouTube ads to everyone in America to let us know that Israel is our ally and our friend. I've explained why that won't work in the past, but I just find it disgusting. I find it crazy that propaganda is allowed. Why are we allowed to push propaganda to the American people? Why is our government allowing it? The reason, again, they're allowing it is because our government is owned by Israel. Jews hold a disproportional amount of power in government, especially with donors. And when you look at dual citizenship, it's a huge problem. When people are citizens of Israel and citizens of America, they definitely vote pro-Israel over pro-America. And it's not me speculating that. That's not some bullshit conspiracy. That comes from just looking at the votes themselves, just looking at all the amendments we pass in American politics. Do they benefit Americans or do they benefit Israelis? Does it benefit Americans to put restrictions on what legal immigrants can and can't say about Israel, but not put restrictions about what they can and can't say about America? I don't think that benefits anybody. I think people should be able to speak their minds freely, or else we don't actually have freedom of speech. Does it benefit Americans to send $6.5 billion more beyond the $3.8 billion a year we send them when Gen Z can't afford houses or to get married? No, I don't think it does. And plus, Israel has a ton of money. Israel owns all the slave mines in Africa. Not all, but the majority. Israel is one of the richest companies or richest countries in the world for diamonds. And it's because they own all the diamond slave mines in Africa. And still to this day, they abuse that slave labor. But no, the U.S. is super anti-Semitic and racist, and we're super terrible over here. It's fucking insane. It's crazy the things they say about... It's crazy the things they say about Americans. You know, they say that Americans are all these, and like people in America say it. It's crazy they say we're anti-Semitic, we're racist, we're misogynistic, because that's all they have against us. Like, using those buzzwords to try and like shut you up is literally all they have. They will never debate you on the actual substance. If you talk about women, most people are not going to actually debate you on the part of like what it is you're talking about women, whether it's women in politics, women in certain roles and jobs, women in government, etc. They won't actually debate you on that. They'll just call you a misogynist. If you talk about race and black people and black crime stats, they're just going to call you a racist. They're not actually going to debate you on the statistics themselves. If you talk about how Muslims in the Quran, it says that their God married a 6-year-old and fucked her when she was 9, and their God says you can marry multiple women and you can beat all your wives. Again, they're not going to debate you on that. They're just going to call you an Islamophobe. If you say that Jews hold a disproportionate amount of power in government, that they knew about 9/11, they shot the USS Liberty knowing it was an American ship, that they killed JFK, if you talk about how they own the slave mines in Africa, if you talk about coin clippings, if you talk about any of these things, you're just an anti-Semitic piece of shit. But realistically, you're someone who's just talking facts. You're someone who is just trying to push truth. You're someone who is trying to find the truth, and you're someone who wants to make the world a better place. They'll use these buzzwords to try and shut you the fuck up. They do it to me all the time. The amount of DMs I get calling me like an anti-Semite for calling out Israel, or the amount of DMs I get calling me a racist for talking about black crime stats. Again, it means nothing at this point. You guys have beat those words into nothing. Those words literally mean jack shit to us at this point. If that's all you have against us and you have no real arguments to debate the actual topic at hand, no offense, I find you to be a low IQ retard who doesn't have the ability to even hold a real conversation with me. I might have a conversation with you, but the entire time I might be thinking, holy shit, this person's fucking dumb. And I deal with that a lot. The amount of times I have a conversation with someone and I'm like, oh, you fucking boomer, you retard, There's a lot of people who are really fucking dumb in this world. A lot of people. And in America specifically, I mean, people are propagandized out the fucking wazoo and they don't even know it. Obama passed the Smith-Month Act in 2000, what was it, 9 or maybe 10? I don't know. It was early 2000s, but Obama passed that and it allowed propaganda to be pushed to the American people from the American government. And not only do they allow it from the American government, from the Israeli government as well. We literally have Israel and Netanyahu constantly pushing propaganda on our media. He's going to be doing it on Google Ads now too. This is not America first. This is not true American nationalism. This isn't the stance Trump took in 2016. It's actually the direct opposite. Donald Trump in 2016 made it seem like America first was inevitable, that America first was going to happen, real America first policies, only for us to become the United States of Israel. But yeah, so that's what's going on with Israel right now. They've killed 4 Americans and our government is doing nothing about it. Imagine if China killed like 4 Americans tomorrow, or imagine if Venezuela, who like we're bombing the boats in Venezuela right now. Imagine if Venezuela killed 4 Americans tomorrow. What do you think Trump's response would be? That's a question for my audience, for the listeners. What do you think Trump's response would be if we bombed Venezuela tomorrow? Or not if we bombed Venezuela. I think we would bomb them in response. I guess I leaked my response there. What do you think they would do if they killed 4 Americans? Do you think we would bomb them, put sanctions on them? What do you think we would do? I think we might bomb, maybe not like a bomb on the city, but I think we would a direct target missile strike somewhere with the cartels. I could foresee that happening very easily. So I think it's crazy that the IDF, that the Israeli military is able to kill 4 Americans, and we're not doing a single fucking thing about it. Not a sanction, not an arrest, not a single fucking thing. Like, they won't do anything about it. They're not even going to acknowledge it. If you see this on Fox News, I'll give every one of my listeners $1. I mean, like, I don't want to go broke if I'm wrong. But I really don't think they're going to talk about it. They have no incentive to. They're owned by Rupert Murdoch. You think Rupert Murdoch is going to allow slander of the IDF? Not on his fucking channel. That's not going to happen. That's why Tucker Carlson's not there anymore. Outside of him being a CIA hack, he's starting to get red-pilled on the Jews and on Israel. And another thing I realized too is like we have people in our government openly right now just saying no Muslims in America, no Muslims in government. Why is it like not crazy for them to say that? Which like years ago like would have been crazy. But I mean I agree with it, like no Muslims in government, no Muslims in the country. That's what I want. But why is it so crazy for me to say no Jews in government? Why is that so crazy? If they're allowed to say no Muslims in government and we're a Christian nation, founded as a Christian nation, why is it so crazy for me to say no Jews in government? Why is that anti-Semitic? Especially when they have the dual citizenship loophole where they're literally all voting pro-Israel instead of pro-America. They're literally showing us in front of our eyes that they're going to work to get positions in American government to help their nation, not to help ours. So that's going to be a new position that I take very heavily on this show, very openly on this show. Same way I don't want Muslims in government, I do not want Jewish people in government. As long as they have the dual citizenship loophole and certain loopholes available that Jewish individuals in America get to have, that Americans do not get to have, yep, I have huge problems, especially like the no extradition. Imagine one of these people commit like serious crimes within our government, but then they're able to escape back to Israel and we can't extradite them. Like, that shit scares me. And until they close all these loopholes, my position will never change on that. I think that's a fair thing to say. Outside of everything else, outside of the way they vote, outside of who they are, what their religion is, as long as they have loopholes open that allow them to expose and abuse American politics, they should not be in government. And that's a very fair thing to say. And anyone who has a problem with that, again, take to the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm going to respond to some comments actually right now. I don't know if these people are going to be listening, but I've got comments on some previous episodes. I've been getting a lot more comments recently, so appreciate you guys. Again, smash the follow button, smash the like button, leave a comment. But someone was commenting about something I was saying about Candace. They were like, oh, I just started listening to your show, and I find it sad that you're misrepresenting what Candace was saying. And she was right about one part of it, but not really the rest. Or maybe, I don't know if it was a she. Could have been a he. I don't know. Whoever. But they said that I said that Candace said that Macron married his dad, which I was incorrect about one thing. You are right. It was not his dad. It was his brother that she alleged. But the person was like making it sound like it was just transgender and it wasn't an incestual relationship, when in reality, if you watch the full 8-part docuseries that Candace Owens did, it does talk about that. So that's one response there. I urge that person, go listen to the rest of Candace's thing. I find, again, she had me in the first half. I could believe that Macron's wife is a tranny, but I cannot believe that that Macron's married to his transgender brother. I mean, again, that's just like, maybe I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I will have no problem saying that. I'll even apologize to Candace very openly on my show, because I'm not in the business of just like trying to shit on people. Like, I like Candace. I actually grew up watching Candace the same way I watched Charlie Kirk, and I watched all these people. It hurts me, not hurts me, but it makes me sad to see Candace go down a path that I think isn't necessarily about truth. It might be about some narrative. But again, if Candace is right about this, I'll have no problem saying like, holy shit, Macron was married to his brother, fucking whatever. I'll be the first to say Candace is the one who called it, apologize to her, I'll send her a bottle of champagne. Maybe I'll make her a saint. No, I'm kidding, I'll never fucking do that. She can make me one, but that's my response to that comment there. I also got a lot of comments of people who saying they're just newly tuning in, they like what I'm saying. I want to say to you guys, again, I appreciate the shit out of you. You guys tuning into the show. It's not even just about listening to me, although I do appreciate that, but it's about, it makes me happy because it makes me feel like there is a real hope for this country, you know? Like, it makes me, when people agree with the things I'm saying and I'm speaking so passionately and patriotically and I'm speaking so, passionately is the best word. I don't know why I try and over-explain. When I'm speaking so passionately about these things and people are like, fuck yeah, I agree with that, you're doing great, or, you know, I might agree with this, don't agree with that, it really inspires me to want to do this more. It inspires me to want to keep doing it and to push forward even further, because I love that there's young people in the country who are active in politics. I love that there's young people in the country who are just as passionate as I am, even if they don't want to speak about it publicly like me. I think it's amazing. It really inspires me. It's what Charlie Kirk would have wanted. So it gives me this just like overwhelming sense of joy when I get those comments, even like when I get negative ones. Again, I have a lot of people who shit on me. I have a lot of people, my show is very split in my ratings. You know, you either give me a 5-star or a 0-star. If you're a leftist, you rank it 0 stars. If you're a conservative, a true America First patriot, you give it 5 stars. And, you know, again, I love that. I love that more people are political, even if they're on the wrong side. I think it's important that more people are political in this nation, as long as they're safe, as long as they're not violent, not pushing anarchist views and whatever. I think it's very important for the sake of the country, for the sake of the nation and the youth, that we do get political, that we do just engage in politics. That's what's going to change this country and move it forward. So to all my listeners who are engaged in politics, to all my listeners who enjoy the show, thank you. To all the people who don't enjoy the show, cheers to you. Fuck you. No, I'm kidding. Fuck you. I'm sure you're a great person. If you don't like the show, you're probably still a great person. We're all made in God's image. I'm no better than any other person made in God's image. That's another thing I get. People are like, you shit on a lot of people, but you talk about God. Again, I'm not perfect. I'm a sinner. We're all sinners. Expecting me to be perfect would expect me to be Mary or Jesus. I'm not. I am a sinner. I try and act in God's image. I try and put my intentions in alignment with the will of God. But yeah, there are times I get angry. There are times I get upset. I get flustered. I have ADHD out the wazoo. If that's not apparent to you that I have crazy ADHD, no offense, then you might be a little dumb. I bounce around like crazy when I do these shows. I go from topic to topic to topic, and then I'll go back to a topic and then back again. Like, I'm all fucking over the place. Especially this episode, I really feel my ADHD going crazy today. I don't know why. Some days it's just like that, though. Some days you just have that. Let me turn my phone on silent, because that's going to get annoying over time. But yeah, sometimes you just have days like that. Sometimes you're just ADHD bouncing off the walls. But again, that's what makes me me. I try to let my personality leak as much as I can into my content. I think it makes it feel more authentic. Try to be brutally honest as possible with everybody about everything. I want to talk about this H-1B visa thing, and then after we talk about that, we're going to get into the videos. We talked about this very briefly. We'll probably just talk about it pretty briefly as well, but they just made a huge change. To get an H-1B visa in America before, it only costs like $2,000 to $5,000 depending on the industry you wanted to go in. Now it's a $100,000 fee. Massive difference. This is going to hit the Indian community the hardest. The Indian community is like 73% of all H-1B visas. It's the tech drivers, the truck workers. It's these type of jobs. All the jobs that should be American-born citizens. Why are we bringing in more visas when Americans will work these jobs for American wages? This is finally coming to an end. That's overused the abuse of this H-1B scam. Essentially, these companies would fire American workers. They would bring in H-1B visa holders. They would sometimes even pay for their visas. And they would do it because they could pay them half the wages of Americans. You pay an American $85K plus benefits, you pay an Indian $40K and like a Dunkin' gift card. They probably don't need that. They probably get a nice family discount at Dunkin'. I got shit for that too. I made a fucking Indian Dunkin' Donuts joke last week, and like 3 people were like, whoa. And I'm like, have you ever been in a Dunkin'? Like, come on, guys. This isn't rocket science. But yeah, so this is hopefully finally coming to an end. The massive amount of people pouring into the country on these H-1B visas, replacing Americans, not learning our language, not assimilating into American culture, stealing our jobs, lowering our wages, making our housing more expensive. Hopefully, Donald Trump doesn't find a way to fuck this up. I hope there's not like... Donald Trump has a way of like announcing something and then fucking it up like a week later. Like he'll... No new wars, and then we bomb the shit out of Iran. Epstein files are going to be released. Actually, they don't exist. I'm just a informant in the Epstein case this entire time. H-1B visas, $100,000. Oh, but they're only going to be for this like ultra-specific field in this specific group and country, and only if you shit on Israel. Like, I'm not saying that's what they're going to do. I'm just speculating. Like, hopefully that's not what they do. Hopefully it's not contingent on a bunch of different bullshit. Hopefully it's just, if you want to come into the country on an H-1B, $100,000. And again, while I do like that, it should be way more. $5 million is the number I want. I want $5 million out of these immigrants, or else don't come in my fucking nation. Because to be honest, I don't want you here right now. And it's not even about you. It's not about like who you are, what you represent, although that does play a factor. Realistically, what it's about right now is the fact that we don't need immigrants. We just don't need them. There's no use in America for legal immigrants right now. We have so many Americans without jobs, and it's because these companies got used to this slave labor mentality. They got used to firing Americans for cheaper imported labor. They got comfortable with it, and it's time we make the corporations really fucking uncomfortable. It's time we let the corporations know that their corporations will fail, that they will not have any workers if they do not start paying American fucking wages. I want Americans to be able to support their families. I want them to be able to afford homes in their own country. Why are so many foreign nationals buying homes in America to rent to Americans and our government's allowing it? We have a problem in this country with that, with housing as it is. I mean, BlackRock is buying all the single fucking family homes and then foreign nationals is buying the other. Americans don't have any places to live besides renting. Renting is so much cheaper than buying a house now because of this. It's crazy. I mean, like, owning property and owning land is a staple of being an American, and an entire generation of Americans is not getting that. They're not able to. They financially cannot obtain it. If they saved all their money, they wouldn't have enough. Even if that was possible. Like, if Americans didn't have to spend money on rent and car insurance, like all these fucking things that are so high, they still wouldn't have enough to save for a house. That's how expensive it is. Or at least a decent one, like not a shit Section 8 house. It's very disgusting. It's very sad the way our government allows corporations, allows foreign labor, allows foreigners to replace Americans. We talked about the Great Replacement in one of our last episodes, and it's happening in real time. Americans and white people specifically are being replaced in our own nation. We're being replaced at crazy fast rates, and it's happening so fast that most people are not even realizing it. We're going to go on to some of our videos today. That's been pretty much all our topics. You know, there's a couple other things I want to show you in the video. When I show you the videos, one of them is the Michael Rappaport video of him talking to his Israel handler. The other is this Minneapolis mayor speaking fucking Somalian. Like I said, we're going to show the rap sheet for this guy, Xavier Omar, this black individual who killed a white woman with a DUI. We're going to show Tucker Carlson's video from Charlie Kirk's memorial. We'll show a few things. So let's get into that right now. This right here is the first thing. This is the rap sheet. So, previous traffic violations for Xavier since 4/27/20. Unlawful speed, 30 miles per hour and greater. Speeding 6 to 9 miles per hour over the limit. Speeding 20 to 29 over the limit. Leaving the scene of a crash involving property damage with no insurance. Operating an unregistered motor vehicle. Reckless driving when reduced from DUI. Possession of marijuana. Open container driver possession. Driving the wrong side of the divided highway. Speeding 6 to 9 miles per hour over the limit. So again, not all these things are the worst. Again, like the speeding, whatever. I've had that same ticket. That's a little high, but again, like that's not a reason to put someone in jail. This right here, leaving the scene of a crash involving property damage, that's a crime. That's a massive crime. Operating an unregistered motor vehicle, that is so unsafe. Reckless driving when reduced from DUI, possession of marijuana. This person has had multiple DUIs. Driving on the wrong side of the divided highway. How is this person ever allowed to drive again? Like, how is this person ever allowed to drive a fucking car again? Open container driver possession. Again, this person should have been taken off the road a long time ago, but they were not. And because they were not, this child right here, this beautiful little baby, will grow up without his mother. May she rest in peace. I will pray for her soul. I will pray for that child, and I will pray for her husband. It's very sad that this disgusting animal right here took her life because he could not control himself. We're going to go on to some of our other things. This is a video. Let me actually put in my headphones, get set up here. This is the video of the Minneapolis mayor speaking fucking Somalian. Give me 1 second to put in my headphones here. Every time I do this, I almost end up fucking this entire thing up. So we're gonna get this set up really quick. There we go.
Maaga Egawa Jacob Fry, Doke Magalada, Minneapolis. Damaan, Sha'abka Somaliyed, Ka Yamid.
Oh my god. I haven't even listened to this yet. I didn't know it was that fucking bad. You should get the fuck out of my country. You piece of shit. Yeah, Mayor Frey, stop speaking that fucking gibberish in my country. We speak English. English. Not gibberish, not heebie-jeebie bullshit.
Mogadishu, Garowe, Hargeisa, Bosaso, Bedabo, Kismayo, Wahan Rabah, in An Idin Shego.
Why is an American mayor speaking in this fucking foreign tongue? Why is he speaking in devil's tongue right now? Why is he speaking in Somalian? Why is he speaking in the language of child rape? Like, it's fucking disgusting. This is an American mayor. An American mayor. Fuck you. You should be deported. It's fucking insane. Disgusting. We're going to go on to some of our other ones. We're just going to, I try and zip through the videos, zip through everything. This is the Tucker Carlson one, his full speech. This is going to be the longest one we show. It's 5 minutes. Maybe I won't show the full thing. Maybe I'll just go up until he starts with the Israel conspiracy shit and show all that. And then we'll stop it after that. We'll see how it's going.
Susie Wiles had tears in her eyes, which you don't often see in politics, but it's real. This is the most unbelievable thing I think I've ever seen. And whatever happens next in America, I hope it's in this direction, because God is here and you can feel it. And Charlie would have loved this, not just because he loved large groups of people, but because ultimately he was a Christian evangelist. And it actually reminds me of my favorite story ever. So it's about 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, and Jesus shows up and he starts talking about the people in power, and he starts doing the worst thing that you can do, which is telling the truth about people, and they hate it, and they just go bonkers. They hate it, and they become obsessed with making him stop. This guy's got to stop talking. We've got to shut this guy up. And I can just sort of picture the scene in a lamplit room with a bunch of guys sitting around eating hummus, thinking about, what do we do about this guy telling the truth about us? We must make him stop talking. And there's always one guy with the bright idea, and I can just hear him say, I've got an idea. Why don't we just kill him? That'll shut him up. That'll fix the problem.
Like, that's what, like, again, we all know Tucker Carlson's a little awkward, a little weird, whatever, but his fucking Mickey Mouse laugh at Charlie Kirk's memorial, extremely inappropriate. Like, again, I can't be the only one thinking this shit, and I'm not, like, I'm, to be honest, one of the least empathetic people I fucking know, so it's like, the fact that I'm the one saying this, I'd imagine you guys are thinking something similar. If you guys disagree with my take on how the Charlie Kirk memorial went, leave that in the comments too. Let me know what you guys think. I would love to know what people are thinking about this, because I found this to be, again, if you think this is what happened, that's fine. Say it on your fucking show, not at his memorial service.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Everything is inverted, and the Beatitudes tell it, I think, the most crisply. Everything is sort of the opposite of what you think it's going to be. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. That is true, and you can feel it here. The thing about Charlie's message, I've thought a lot about it, and I'm trying not to be emotional, because in addition to everything else, he was a wonderful man and a decent man, and one of those rare people you meet who you just groove with in conversation and have these very intense conversations that you don't stop thinking about, which is my experience with him. But the main thing about Charlie and his message, he was bringing the gospel to the country. He was doing the thing that the people in charge hate most, which is calling for them to repent. So how is Charlie's message different? And Charlie was a political person who was deeply interested.
So again, we're not going to watch the full thing, but I just find it very disrespectful that he used this as a platform to push the Israel did it narrative. Again, we can have those conspiracy talks, we can have that debate. I might not agree with it. I find the evidence to be fairly flimsy, but there is some there. I mean, there is a little bit of evidence linking them. But again, not enough credible evidence relative to the evidence that shows that it was this transgender death discord cult. That's what it really seems to be. But yeah, I don't like that he used that as a platform there. And that's really my biggest complaint, is that I feel like all these people use this as a platform, as like a GOP event, and to push their own narratives, except for Erica. Erica gave that very beautiful, touching speech. I want to show this. I found this to be fucking insane. At the 50 States One Israel event, this is what Mike Huckabee is. This is what he wants. He's trying to say that Israel should become part of America. That's not going to fucking happen.
And you may be surprised to know just how many Americans live in Israel. Let me give you the number. Take this back home to folks who say, why do we care about Israel? I'll tell you why. Because there are 700,000 Americans who live in Israel.
Who put Israel,
700,000.
And all 700,000 of those people put Israel's interest over America. If you put another nation's interest over America, you're not an American. Don't call yourself an American. It's actually disrespectful to Americans like me, who don't put any other nation above America. I'm a real American. I put America first in every fucking way. America comes before any other fucking country.
I'm speaking to a room full of politicians. You guys will understand that's a full congressional district. Every time we have members of Congress come over here, I always say to them, guys, welcome to the 436th congressional district of the United States. And you may be surprised to know just...
No, that will never happen. We'll never allow that to happen. That's crazy that they're even saying shit like that. So gross. I don't want any Middle Eastern country to have any relationship with the United States. It's not even just Israel specific. No Middle Eastern nations should have any relationship with the U.S. Let's go on to our last couple things. This one was actually absurd. This one has nothing to do with any of the stuff we're actually talking about today, except for maybe some of the race stuff, but not stuff we've talked about today, maybe stuff in the past. But this is a video of a girl introducing her boyfriend on TikTok.
You gotta love...
Yeah, this guy's reaction.
His first instinct in his introduction is to pretend to shoot people. That's totally...
Exactly. Like, what a fucking retard. What a brain-dead fucking retard. Your first instinct is to literally... That's your first instinct, you fucking retard. And this is our last video we're going to show. This is of Michael Rappaport. If you don't know who he is, he's like a disgraced sports reporter. And this is him being caught on a phone call with his Israel handler, and he was being secretly recorded.
If I say Zionist, you pay me a certain price. If I say Zionist, Israel, and Jewish, that's the big three, I get paid for that.
They get paid for just talking about Zionist, Israel, for just saying these words on shows, publicly, on radio shows, on TV shows, on Twitter. They would just get paid by their Israel handlers.
Right. Same as always. Yeah, just keep paying me the same thing. Zionist, Israel, Jewish, you pay me. No problem. If I do what if I do a watermelon emoji, and if I say something about Palestine? If I say Palestine on camera, okay, you're gonna give me more. Okay, cool.
See, that's crazy. And then he notices he's being filmed.
I say Zionist.
But it's like, that's what we're fucking dealing with in America here. We're literally dealing with political influencers and sports influencers, not even political, who are saying that they're not saying us, but they're getting caught being paid to push this propaganda. They're being paid to push Israeli propaganda onto Americans. But this is America. This isn't fucking Israel. We're not going to listen to your bullshit-ass propaganda. Kids are getting too smart for that nowadays. That's been our entire show today. It's been a great show today. Please remember to, again, like, smash the follow button, leave a comment. I'm going to go over our topics. I'm going to see if there's any headlines that popped up while I've been filming. I know I've been a little jumpy this episode with going to topic. Maybe I missed a thing or two. Like I said, my ADHD is all over the place today. I don't take any medicine. I don't trust Big Pharma, so I don't take any of that shit they try and give you. Let's check if there's any headlines, though. Let's go right now. Oh, my fuck. Gavin Newsom announces $414 million project for 30 affordable housing projects. How much money has Gavin Newsom put into homelessness for it to just get worse? Billions. Wow. What is this headline? Dayton landscaper Tanner Staggs fatally shot. On September 18th, say his name, an Ohio landscaper was shot and killed after grass clippings landed on a neighbor's car. Travis Jackson now faces, wow. Oh, wow, the usual suspect. The usual suspect. Holy shit, wow. So now on the show, we have two white individuals who were murdered by black ones. This one just did it because yard trimmings landed on his car. See, that's not even a black person. That's just a straight up, I'm not going to say, I'm not getting demonetized today, but you guys know what I'm saying. It's a ninja. That's a ninja. I mean, that's, you killed someone because grass clippings landed on your car? You worthless sack of shit. Do you also, like, get out of your fucking car when a leaf falls on it and go beat the shit out of a tree, you retard? Oh. That's so sad. That's a young man. Tanner Staggs was murdered by Travis Jackson. Travis Jackson is a disgusting, sick animal. Wow, that's really sad. Violence is, I mean, it's through the roof in this country. And again, this is like where it's like pattern recognition is key. If you don't avoid certain black people, you are putting yourself in more dangerous scenarios. And it's not to say that there's not violent white people or Asians or violent this or that or whatever, but at lesser rates they are. Like, it's like black people are 13% of the population, but 56% of all the violent crime, 54% of all the murders, 67% of all the youth theft arrests. We need people to, again, you see a black guy smelling like shit, looking like shit, looks all crazy, looks like he just wants to choke someone out that day, walk the other fucking way, even if it's the long way. Save your life that day. I'm disgusted, appalled, and so sad and upset now that I'm just reading this. When did this happen? Today? Wow. Let's see if there's anything else trending right now. That's so sad. That just made me really sad again. Trump warns of prenatal Tylenol autism. I already addressed this in a previous episode. I think it is legit. It seems to have pretty sound, peer-reviewed science. I think most of these medical companies are very corrupt. Again, like, there are some really good ones, some really good medicines, some really good cures for things, but in general, a lot of these practices, they like to create patients and then give medicine to the patients, you know, create customers, essentially. Let's see what Erica is trending. Let's see what's happening there. It's just going to be, yeah, we'll watch this real quick. This is the video of Erica talking about her forgiving Tyler.
That young man. I forgive him.
She is stronger than every one of us. I don't care. You could be the biggest fucking badass there is. She is stronger than you or me. Maybe not physically, but you have no idea. I mean, I have no idea. None of us do how much strength that takes to forgive your husband's murderer, your children's father's murderer. One of the strongest women in this world is Erica Kirk.
I forgive him because it was what Christ did and is what Charlie would do. That man.
Well, it's moving. It can inspire all of us to be better. Let's see, what is this? More stuff just popped up. Hundreds of thousands of Italian workers participated in a 24-hour general strike on September 22nd, organized by unions, demanding an end to arms sales to Israel in recognition of a Palestinian state. Vindicated once again, bitches. again, anyone who has a problem with me calling it a genocide, debate the actual facts themselves and stop calling me anti-Semitic. Seriously. I find it to be the weakest fucking argument if your best argument is that I'm an anti-Semitic sack of shit. Because realistically, I know more facts than most of these Jews who want to call me that. And it's not all of them. I know of a bunch of Jewish people who look at it as a genocide. You even have people like Dave Smith who speak out against Israel as a state, who speak out against what Israel does, speaks out against the corruption within the United States. There are some very base Jews out there. But if you're a Jewish individual in America who supports this, I really question your morality. I really do. I find it actually atrocious and disgusting. And yeah, see, UK, Canada, Australia, Portugal recognize state of Palestine. Yep.
À l'engagement historique de mon pays au Proche-Orient, pour la paix entre le peuple israélien.
There you go. Notice how I don't bitch about that guy speaking another language, because he's in another fucking country. I've heard people say, like, oh, you just hate when people don't talk English. No, I only hate it when you live in America. If you live in America, learn English, bitch. Learn English today. Learn it years ago when you got here. Fuck you for not knowing English. It's actually just so dangerous to be driving on American roads and not know English. People in Florida just died because of that. Let's see if there's anything else. What is this going to be? Klaus Schwab? Vance is trending. Let's see what's there. Yeah, boom. Nick Fuentes, right on the money. Nice try, but the GOP is still awful. I'm never supporting JD Vance for president. Same. I will never support that. Yeah. What do you mean you won't support this? Yeah, so American. Well, let it admit that's the American family we want in the White House, right, guys? It's fucking crazy. GOP shills when you said you didn't like the Charlie Kirk National Convention sponsored by Palantir. Yeah, exactly. Like, there are boomers who are like, what do you mean you didn't like the memorial? And I'm like, it was literally a GOP voter drive. It wasn't a memorial. Charlie was probably crying at that outside of Erica's speech. Fucking disgusting. Yeah, that's going to be all our topics today. I'm going to sign off for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Again, please remember to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. Hope you guys are enjoying. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy responding to the comments. I enjoy engaging with the supporters of the show. I think it's important we have these dialogues and discussion. And again, maybe one day I'll do like a call-in thing if people want to call in when I'm filming and debate me. I'd go live on TikTok and I debate people. I even do it in X Spaces. I do it on StreamYard. So if people want to debate me, feel free to send me a message on that as well. I'll debate anybody. I'm not saying I'll beat anybody in a debate, but I'll debate anybody. I have no fear in debate. I think it's really important that we have these dialogues, discussions, and disagreements in debates, and that way we can actually push for truth and push for less propaganda in this nation. It's imperative to the success of a nation to not propagandize their citizens, and that's what we've done for generations. We've propagandized Americans. Our government has. Israel has. And it's happening. I mean, at massive scales. And to be honest, like, the boomers and the older generations are too fucking stupid to realize it. They think they turn on Fox News and it's legit. They think they turn on the news and it's legit. They think every fucking thing they read is real. Literally, show a boomer, show an old person an AI video of the most ridiculous thing and watch them be like, what the fuck? They'll think it's real. They don't understand technology. And it's not even like just the boomers. It's the 50-year-olds, the 60-year-olds, and it's not all of you. Again, exceptions to the rule exist. And if you're one of the exceptions, props to you. I give it to you. You're part of the generation who's so retarded, but you came out good. And I'll give that to you. That's a huge accomplishment. But it's really funny. Like, literally, show your grandfather or grandmother an AI video and watch them think it's real. And it proves my entire point that, like, boomers, these older generations, they just do not understand what we understand. They don't get it. They're, again, might be smart in their own respective fields and passions and whatever, but they don't know shit about the real world that we live in 2025. I'm going to sign off today. Again, I hope you guys have a blessed day. I hope you guys have a blessed afternoon. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.